Nija Charles, also known as just Nija or Amnesia, was born on October 20th, 1997 in Union, New Jersey. Nija's interest and appreciation for music cultivated due to her music-oriented upbringing. Nija's mother, who was an engineer, grew up in the choir, and her father is a house DJ, who at events and family gatherings played an array of classics where Nija was exposed to various genres of music. Nija also has an aunt and uncle who she is close in age with, who also produce beats through the software Fruity Loops. From watching her family members and other artists who inspired her, such as Ryan Leslie, Esther Dean, The Dream, and Chris Brown, her passion for music continued to grow when she earned straight A's in middle school, and her mother gifted Nija with a MIDI keyboard where she was able to start making instrumentals and perfecting her craft. Throughout Nija's teenage years, she played the flute and saxophone, in which she credits the latter to helping her strengthen her knowledge of music theory. Around the time Nija was in high school, she was assured that producing and songwriting was what she wanted to do as a career. Nija was a part of the Future Music Moguls at the Clive Davis Institute of Recorded Music at NYU's Tisch School of Arts. When it came time to choose a college to enroll to, Nija received several full-ride scholarships, but she eventually chose NYU, where she was enrolled in the Clive Davis Institute of Recorded Music. Around the same time, she began posting her beats on SoundCloud, and she later started writing lyrics and melodies to sing on her productions so that it could help her music gain more traction. And at this point is where she started having an influx of producers and A&Rs reaching out to work with her. After posting snippets of her demos on Instagram, she was able to produce and be featured on rapper Lecrae's track Lucked Up. And Nija was also able to get in contact with her current manager, Christian McCurdy, after she found a producer that McCurdy was managing at the time. And from there, Nija was able to find Christian's contact information. She sent him direct messages of demos she created, and then Christian introduced her to A&R Senior Vice President Jay Grand from RCA Records, who then flew Nija out to California to meet and work with some of the most notable artists and producers in the industry. Nija's career at this point began to take off as she spent the next 8 months living bi-coastal, spending weekends in LA recording and weekdays in New York going to classes. Through some convincing from Jay Grant at a dinner with Nija and her mom, he stressed to Nija's mom that her career is about to blow up and being in school may not be needed for her anymore. Soon after, Nija dropped out of NYU and signed a publishing deal with Universal Music Publishing Group in 2017.
Soon enough, Nija was heading out of class, flying cross-country, and juggling both studio sessions and studying.
Honestly, I was just like, wow, this is the start of, my career.
So once you get that call, I understand that you're flying out every couple weeks from LA from New York to LA?
Every weekend. It was very hard. There were some classes I definitely had to skip, but it was just time management, knowing that I had to hurry up, finish my homework before I got on the plane.
Nija has since dropped out. Now living in LA, she's working on music full-time.
Almost immediately after Nija's move to LA, she started her current streak of chart-topping and award-winning hit songs that she co-wrote. In early 2018, Nija, along with producer Scribs and Needles, created the demo to the 2-time platinum song Ring by Cardi B featuring Kehlani, which, side note, took Nija less than 10 minutes to write. She also wrote the song I Do featuring SZA, both of which were on Cardi's debut album Invasion of Privacy, released in April 2018. That same year, Nija got the opportunity to write the tracks Heard About Us and Love Happy on Beyoncé and Jay-Z's The Carters collaboration album, Everything Is Love. When describing how she's been able to write from the perspective of people who are a couple years her senior, Nija expressed how, quote, songwriting is like acting because, especially with me being so young, I didn't go through a lot of things. So I kind of have to act as a vessel because I'm writing other people's stories and being a storyteller. And in order to get inspiration, I know a lot of people write from what they've been through, but again, with me being young, I had to put myself in their shoes, talk to them, talk to my friends, or draw inspiration from something I watched on TV, or just have that conversation with the artists, and hearing them explain their experiences for themselves. And from there, I have been able to act as if I'm them, or play out what's going on in their mind. So having to pull from that instead of my own experiences is how it's like acting, unquote. At barely 21 years old, Nija continued to showcase her masterful ability to bounce from various genres by co-writing the Afro-pop song Colors for Jason Derulo, which was a promotional single for the 2018 FIFA World Cup. She also wrote for Meek Mill on her 4th studio album, Championships, on the tracks Uptown Vibes, featuring Fabulous and Anul AA. On Me featuring Cardi B, and the platinum-selling song 24/7 featuring LMA. Nija capped off 2018 by co-writing A&T on 21 Savage's second studio album, I Am Greater Than I Was. As Nija was on her way to the Grammys in February 2018, she found out through a flood of congratulatory text messages that she won a Grammy for Best Urban Contemporary Album for Beyoncé and Jay-Z's Everything Is Love for her writing contributions. When she eventually took her seat at the ceremony, Nija was able to watch history being made as she won again when Cardi B won Best Rap Album for Invasion of Privacy, in which Cardi became the first female rapper to win the category as a solo rapper. The summer of 2019 was full of transformative milestones and continued growth for Nija. When describing being called by Chris Brown's mixing engineer, Patricio Pigliapoco, Nija recalled how she came down to Chris's house and helped him write his portion and sent it back to Drake, and he loved it. Nija knew the track was special when she found herself playing it on repeat. She said, I tend not to listen to the songs I write because I've heard them so many times, but No Guidance was always in my playlist. The song No Guidance went on to become the song of the summer by breaking the record for the most weeks at number 1 on the R&B hip-hop airplay at the time. It also peaked at number 5 on the Billboard Hot 100, which was Chris Brown's highest charting single at the time. And it went on to become nominated for Best R&B Song at the Grammys and be certified triple platinum. Nija went on to later state how the song is one of her most favorite songs she's ever written because of the impact it had on Chris's career, the collaboration with Drake, and its importance on Black culture. Around the same time, Beyoncé released her soundtrack for the 2019 live-action Lion King remake in July. Beyoncé invited Nija to the writer's room once again, where Nija was not only able to write 2 songs, Water and My Power, but was also featured on the latter song, My Power. Nija was also included in the visual for My Power, which was included in the Black is King musical film released on Disney Plus a week later. Personally, I still feel like this soundtrack is criminally underrated and did not receive the appreciation it deserved, but we could save that discussion for another video. Towards the end of 2019, Nija worked on Summer Walker's debut album, Over It, in which Nija wrote the tracks Tonight, Come Through, Potential, and Like It. Potential and Like It also featured Nija's background vocals. In December 2019, at age 22, Nija capped off another amazing year by being named in Forbes' annual 30 Under 30 list for her contribution to the music industry. 2020 was undoubtedly a challenging year for the country given the ongoing pandemic and the social justice protests against police brutality. But despite all these social issues, Nija felt both angry at all that was going on and overjoyed in her personal life because she had just accomplished one of her major life goals and achieved a milestone that every artist yearns for. By co-writing the epic house pop collaboration Rain On Me by Lady Gaga and Ariana Grande, it became Nija's first number 1 song and the first all-female collaboration song to debut atop of the charts. This milestone was incredibly significant to Nija because it helped further solidify that she is not just an urban songwriter, but it has allowed other people in the industry to see that she is capable of creating hits across genres. Nija talked about how Black writers have often been stereotyped in the writer's room by saying, quote, "It's happened from day one. A lot of Black writers or producers go through this every day. Because we are Black and because they see us working with rappers or R&B singers, they do try to pigeonhole us. You'll go into a pop room and let's say the people are working with someone like Justin Bieber or Gaga or an artist like that, the poppiest of the pop. And then they'll say, I want to work on 21 Savage. I want to make a 21 Savage song today. It's like, well, why all of a sudden do you want to work on this today? You didn't want to work on that yesterday when you were with another writer who's not Black? That's the constant struggle that we go through every day as Black creatives," unquote. Nija wrote for several artists throughout 2020 before capping off her record-breaking year in October 2020 by reuniting with Ariana Grande for a 6th studio album, Positions. Nija co-wrote the title track Positions along with the songs Obvious and Motive. The lead single Positions debuted on top of the Billboard Hot 100, becoming Nija's second number 1 song in the same year.
Something that's going to ring in your head. It's stickier than the hook sometimes. Keeping the momentum, definitely, when you have a post-chorus. It's like riding the beat. In Positions, there is no post-chorus. The hook was already so sticky and repetitive melodically that it was already engraved in your head. You didn't really need something after it. The momentum was already built with the hook, especially with how mellow the verse was, and then slowly taking you into the pre, and then finally the hook was so explosive that we didn't need something after it.
In February 2021, Nija signed an artist deal with Capitol Records, and by March, an already 12-time Grammy nominee, Nija took home her third Grammy for Best Pop Duo Performance for Rain On Me by Lady Gaga and Ariana Grande. Throughout the year of 2021, Nija continued to write for others, such as the Slime Language 2 compilation album on the track No Surprise featuring Don Toliver, DJ Khaled's album Khaled on the We Going Crazy song with her and the Migos, the single X for a Reason and Throw It Away off of Summer Walker's sophomore album Still Over It. And Nija was also featured on other people's songs such as Track Start with Mooski and Coi Leray. But this year was also pivotal for Nija because it's when she was gearing up to release her own solo project. Nija recalled how the process to working on her solo project started when she was working on Everything Is Love, and Beyoncé complimented her tone of voice. Nija used that as a sign to push forth on one day embarking on her own solo endeavors. In August 2021, she released her lead single, Ease My Mind, Come Over, off of her debut EP, Don't Say I Didn't Warn You. The 10-track EP, executive produced by Jack Rashawn, was released on January 28, 2022. The project is an open letter of her past experiences with an ex-boyfriend. Typically a private person, this project allowed Nija to pull from her actual experiences to help herself and other women heal from heartbreak and grow into better and more confident versions of themselves. I enjoyed this EP because I felt it showcased Nija's multifaceted skill sets as a producer and an artist by curating a cohesive story of the emotions, realities of the demise of a long-term relationship and how she was able to reclaim her power. She pulled inspiration from the New York drill genre, R&B, and the New Jersey clubhouse sounds. Nija took her listeners on a journey by using the opener track, Wicked, to illuminate how shocked and betrayed she felt from the lies and several red flags throughout her relationship. On In My Feelings, she admits that although there is still residue of hurt from her past relationship, she refuses to let her ex see her emotional. In Finesse, she reveals how every time she has moved on with her life, her ex finds a way to creep back into her life with ill intent just because he's lonely. In my personal favorite track off the project, Not One of Them, it features Nija showcasing her confidence and accomplishments and describing how blessed her life has been without her ex. In the songs Beautiful Lies and Rare, it details Nija dating and creating different experiences with new people. On the song On Call, it talks about the classic mistake of drunk dialing, while the lead single, Ease My Mind, talks about Nija wanting to invite someone new over to take her mind off of things and just enjoy each other's company. The second to last track, You Don't Love Her, is a call out to her ex to being in a new relationship he does not look seemingly happy to be in, and that he is using his new relationship as a band-aid for the true feelings he still has for Nija. The last track, Somebody Else, ultimately talks about Nija being in a place where she's finally ready to move on and find someone new. Nija accompanied this EP with a visual for each song, as well as a tribute to her Jersey roots with a Jersey Club remixes released in March 2022. Throughout 2022, Nija continued to write for other artists such as the City Girls, Dua Lipa and Megan Thee Stallion, Quavo and Takeoff, A Boogie with the Hoodie, and Anita before reuniting for a third time with Beyoncé on her 7th studio album, Renaissance, for the song Cozy. She also released the lead single Love Like This for her forthcoming project and joined Jessie Reyez on her Yessie tour towards the end of 2022. In November 2022, the Recording Academy announced the first ever Songwriter of the Year category for the 65th award ceremony. This is one of the 3 nominations Nija received, with the other 2 being Best Dance Electronic Album and Album of the Year for Beyoncé's Renaissance.
But with Cozy, it was already a track with T.S. Madison on it. And I was just, Beyonce was saying that she wanted to make a song for all women. And I was just like, what can I think of for female empowerment? So I usually go in with the melody first, but also just writing down lines of just like what is going to hit and make sure that every woman can, feel it.
At only age 25, Nija is respected by some of the most revered and accomplished figures in the industry and has solidified her spot as one of the most sought-after songwriters in the industry. And I don't see that stopping anytime soon. I discovered Nija when I noticed the trend of most of my favorite songs by my favorite artists had one common denominator. As I looked in the song credits like I usually do, I always saw Nija's name pop up and I was mind blown by how skilled she is as an overall creative. One thing I admire about Nija is an unwavering confidence that seemed to be there her entire life. When asked about the advice she would give to younger creatives, she said, quote, "I gave myself a rule when I was in college to make one song every day. I stayed consistent with that and it helped a lot. It made me perfect my craft and improve to the point where I would want to create a better song than I did yesterday. I wasn't in competition with anyone else. The goal was to always beat myself. Another piece of advice I would give is that you trust your gut, my mantra that I live by. There will always be other people that don't see the vision. A lot of times humans won't think something is good until someone else validates it, and you just have to trust yourself. If you feel that it's good and it's ready, then that's all that matters," unquote. I see so many more award nominations and wins in Nija's career, and I'm excited for not only the hits she would continue to write for others, but for her own solo projects. As of now, she is working on her production and publishing companies, and one day hopes to step into scoring and movie soundtracks. Let me know in the comments if you have a favorite song that Nija has written for herself or others. And let me know other underrated songwriters, producers, and artists that you would like me to cover next time. Thank you for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you next time.